You are late. Do you even know what time it is? Man, I really hate my boss. Have you ever heard this? People are always expressing anger today, and the smallest of things seem to tick people off. That's why it's important to recognize the 3 different kinds of anger that I'm going to share with you in this video, as well as the exact reason why people get angry in the first place, so that you can deal with them more effectively and create more harmonious relationships. Sometimes it's directed at you, sometimes it's because of something that you said or something that you did, sometimes it comes with no reason at all. Anger is everywhere around us today, and if we do not recognize it, we cannot deal with people effectively. Angry people are going to be around us for our entire lives, and if you continue dealing with them the way you have been, well, unfortunately, it's going to create problems. That's why here I am today to tell you about the 3 different kinds of anger, as well as why do people actually get angry in the first place. It's quite interesting. Remember that anger, like all other emotions, is quite normal. There you have it. Surprise, surprise, anger is normal. The thing is, when we look at anger in itself, it's just communicating different messages. It's a survival mechanism that we need in order to survive and deal with the world around us. However, often today we tend to react first before responding. We do not know how to express our anger effectively or convey how we feel. This is so important. When we look at anger, all it is a bunch of chemicals that keep going off like this in your brain. It's like a burst of chemicals going off, and that inward explosion tends to come outside in the way we express ourselves. It's funny because if we learn how to control this, then we can control how we respond. And recognizing why this happens is so important. Remember that this kind of burst that happens within the brain is for a mere 20 seconds. 20 seconds, that's how long the primary release of chemicals within the brain happens. These neurotransmitters do not last longer than 20 seconds, which is why it's so important to realize that if we can control our anger within that 20-second frame, we can overcome our anger. However, why do people feel angry for prolonged periods of time? Why does it tend to dominate our mood? Have you asked yourself this important question? The thing is, we tend to follow our chemical reactions or our bursts of anger with certain thoughts that are associated with anger. Man, I gotta get back at that guy. He really pissed me off today. This is so important to recognize, because once those thoughts tend to combine with these neurochemicals, we tend to form something of a circle, a communication message that tends to continue for a long period of time, and sometimes it can go on throughout the entire day. When you recognize that this is how things happen, if you can cut that emotional reaction where it is, where if we receive some kind of anger from the external world or something that causes us to feel angry, if we can contain our anger within those 20 seconds and keep our emotions at bay, then we can deal with people more effectively and master our relationships. Keeping that in mind, if we continue to form this circle, it's going to create problems. Now, what are the 3 different kinds of anger that you need to be aware of? Often we associate anger with aggression. In social psychology, there are almost 11 different kinds of aggression. Let's keep it simple today and talk about the 3 ones and associate them with different temperatures. Easy to remember, right? There can be hot anger, cold anger, or even neutral anger. Let's look at hot anger first. Hot anger is that kind of anger where you completely lose control, where people go all out and explode just like that chemical reaction. When that happens, they tend to lose all conscious thought about what they're saying. They may even say things that they don't actually mean because they are going full throttle with their anger. Do you know people like this? I think this is what we usually associate anger with different people that we see. This, when you see an angry person, this is the image that comes to mind. So this is, I would say, the most ineffective way of expressing your anger, as well as also having other people around you. It tends to create a bad environment. On the other hand, the other two forms of anger are relatively better. So once we understand that hot anger, or the most explosive kind of anger, if we learn to contain it for about 10 seconds, we don't react, then we have mastered our ability to control hot anger. These people tend to get their point across, have a breakthrough or break through you sometimes, and actually deliver their information. Whereas people with cold anger, they are a little bit more chilling when you think about it. These people communicate their information not immediately, but they take their time. They wait it out. Wait for all of the chemicals to die down, and up until a point where they are thinking about how they should react. They want the message to be very crisp and very clear. Unlike the people with hot anger. The people with hot anger sometimes don't even think about what they're saying, but this person is constantly thinking, how am I going to get back at this person? Which is why this chilling, almost clear, clinically crafted message is so much more powerful and sometimes even more scary than the person who is speaking from a point of view where he has experienced hot anger, is trying to get something across to you. Neutral anger, on the other hand, can be best expressed as someone who says to you, I am very disappointed in you. You see the difference? This is kind of a loud tone, this is a very low tone, and ultimately the third one here, this is almost what you would describe as a mid-tone. I am really disappointed in you. You have really made me unhappy. Typically followed by a long pause. And often when you have this kind of pause, it makes people think. When they say this to you, it's a very crisp way of conveying information that would otherwise be bombarded or take a long time to bring it out. The funny thing is, when we look at all three of these different kinds of anger, neutral anger seems to be the most, what you might describe as the most chilling and the most crisp and the fewer words, but the information comes across so much more easily. When you see all these three different kinds of anger, always try to choose cold anger and neutral anger, because cold and neutral anger tend to prevent a lot of damage, and in fact this passive aggressive way of expressing your anger or finding an alternative object to express your anger on tends to be better for you in different relationships. Having said that, recognizing anger and understanding that people do get angry today, and even the smallest things can tick us off. If we recognize this, we can do something about it. And it all starts with recognizing what actually causes people to get angry. Can we do something about it? And if we can, let them know. If you want all of this to become more clear and more develop a better understanding of all of this, I would suggest that you watch my video on the 6 tips to deal with angry people. It's going to basically complete the entire circle when it comes to understanding how anger actually works and how you can effectively encounter people who are either angry around you and ultimately get the point across. This is the most important thing. If you can do all of this, then you can deal with angry people more effectively. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, make sure you hit the thumbs up button, comment down below, tell me what you want to see in future videos. Remember, I am dedicated to making 2019 your best year ever and having you become the best version of yourself. Performing like a champion, that's our goal on this channel. Subscribe right now. Watch all of the videos that I have for you down below. The playlist is all about how you can deal with different people in your life. If we want to get better at improving ourselves, we need to learn how to interact with different people in our lives, because people play a crucial role. We are social animals after all, and we want to recognize how to deal with these people effectively. All of this and more in the playlist below. Check it out. This is Vikram signing off. I will see you in the next session. Have an amazing 2019.